Litecoin is one of the large cap cryptocurrencies that are slow movers. It's one of the first altcoins to ever be launched, dating back to 2011, and it's not one of the hot topics on social media usually. Except this week, the coin pumped by more than 25% on Friday, and there's a good reason for that. I'll dive into the details, but first, let me assure you that even if you're watching this video long after it's recorded, it will still be relevant to you, as I will cover Litecoin's performance throughout its entire history, and I will make a proper analysis that aims to answer the question, is Litecoin a good investment? From several points of view. So there's something for everyone here, the long-term investor and those who might be looking to turn a profit from the market swings, such as the trader type. I marked with timestamps the chapters in this episode, so feel free to use them and skip between parts or move back and forth if you need to. With that said, let's dive into it. Alright, so let's talk about Litecoin, but before I start, a quick disclaimer here that I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not really a financial advice. I'm merely talking to you the same way that I'm talking to my friends, and I'm just expressing my personal opinion and my experience from being in this market since 2015. I actually invested in Litecoin in mid-2016 for the first time, and since then I've been trading this coin, I've been capitalizing on its market swings. And this is most likely what I would suggest to you, but again, you don't have to take this as an advice. This is just me analyzing the charts, analyzing the performance of the coin, analyzing the fundamentals and the technicals, and as I said, I will divide this video into separate chapters, so you can use the timestamps below to navigate between these chapters if any of these are irrelevant to you or maybe you're familiar with some of this content already. So with that said, let's move on. What is Litecoin? Litecoin, the silver to Bitcoin's gold, as many people refer to it, has indeed been around for a really long time, establishing itself as a top-ranking cryptocurrency, and it's had its fair share of popularity and price appreciation, but as it became a large-cap crypto, it has failed to produce much excitement over the last bull run. I remember it being a really hot property back in 2016, and during the 2017 epic bull run, it reached an all-time high. This is also the time when Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin, famously sold all of his stash, and things have never been the same ever since. I'm not one of the people who would speculate that this marked the end of the project, and I do believe that his motives were genuine. At the time, Lee was one of the most followed and prominent and respected voices in crypto, and his excuse was that he wanted to avoid a conflict of interest, as his tweets about Litecoin and other coins, especially Bitcoin, could have been seen as market manipulation. Makes sense, right? But we can't discount the fact that since that moment, Litecoin has faded in the background to a great extent, despite holding its high market cap ranking, which, to be honest, has also taken a huge drop. But to answer the question, is it a good investment? Let's dive into the positives and negatives and see where the scales tip. Created in 2011 by former Google employee Charlie Lee, Litecoin shares its roots with Bitcoin, but diverges in terms of the hash algorithm employed. Additionally, it features distinctions in hard caps, block transaction times, and other factors. On October 7th, 2011, Litecoin was released via an open source client on GitHub, and merely 5 days later, on the 13th, the Litecoin network became operational. It uses a consensus algorithm called Script, which is more memory intensive and slower than Bitcoin's SHA-256. Litecoin has faster block times than Bitcoin, with a block being generated every 2.5 minutes compared to Bitcoin's 10 minutes. Litecoin's transaction fees are relatively low, making it an attractive option for people like me who want to move funds between different exchanges or lending platforms. Litecoin has a strong community of developers who are working on improving the network's features and security, but it keeps emphasis on being a transaction utility rather than adding new features like smart contracts or other trendy operability like DeFi and NFTs. As the trends come and go, Litecoin has not capitalized on any of these new inventions in the past 4 years. Litecoin has gained notable support and use cases in various industries, including gaming, e-commerce, and remittances. Litecoin has been integrated into several payment processors, including Coinbase and BitPay, making it easier for merchants to accept Litecoin payments. It has also been integrated into all wallets and all exchanges, making it highly liquid and available on every major cryptocurrency platform. It's one of the few coins that has been a firm fixture on every big exchange since its conception. At least, I can't think of any exchange that doesn't support Litecoin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost never wrong. Alright, now let's examine Litecoin's market capitalization and its ranking among other cryptocurrencies. Has it been consistently in the top cryptocurrencies by market cap? Well, yes, it's currently sitting at number 10 and it's been consistently in the top 20 at least. In fact, most of the time it's been in the top 10, but in recent years it's dropped below that. Well, this pump helped it get back into the top 10 position this week. Litecoin is highly liquid and available on most major cryptocurrencies exchanges, making it ideal for traders. But to get a better picture for the long run, I want to analyze its historical price performance, including long-term trends and short-term fluctuations. So we are looking here at statistics from CoinGecko, and I'm also using statistics from Token Metrics, one of the websites that I'm always using. The current market cap of Litecoin is around $7.80 billion, and it is 74% down from its all-time high. Its all-time high was $410. And if we look at the chart of Litecoin, what we are going to notice, well, first of all, right now here, over the last couple of days, you can see we've actually printed 37% gains. This is why everyone is talking about Litecoin right now, on social media and everything. And many people, are talking about jumping in. At this point, I wouldn't. Because all of this performance here over the last few days and pretty much since the beginning of this year, this performance here that we are seeing, which is quite bullish and quite significant, it is thanks to the Litecoin halving, which is approaching really soon. It's going to be in the beginning of August. Right now, it's set to be on the 1st of August. And these kind of events, halving of the reward, which is basically when the reward, the production of Litecoin gets cut in half, just like with Bitcoin. You have, every 4 years, you have the production being cut in half. With every new block that is being mined, you are getting half of the coins that you would previously be able to mine. So this event is the reason why we're seeing this pump, and I'm expecting that we can actually go a little bit higher, possibly here in the 130 region. This is pretty much as far as I'm expecting for us to go. So jumping in right now may not be the wisest decision, but what I actually want to show you here is past performance. And looking here at the full chart of Litecoin, what I really want to point out is that this was here the first all-time high and only all-time high of Litecoin. Unlike other coins, during the last bull cycle, Litecoin managed to only reach its previous all-time high, and it didn't actually go any higher. It didn't print another all-time high. This all-time high was reached in December 2017. Let me just move this panel out of here so that we can see it. I think it was somewhere in the middle of December, on the 11th of December actually it shows here that it reached its all-time high. This is also when Charlie Lee famously sold all of his stash. After we reached this all-time high, Litecoin went into a bear market, and this was for the whole crypto market actually, not just Litecoin. Throughout 2018 and 2019 we had this long bear market. Then we had another bull cycle starting in 2020, and this is when many of the major coins actually pumped significantly. Bitcoin printed 300% gains, Ethereum printed more than 500% gains, and many of the other top coins actually printed new all-time highs. Litecoin, however, managed to only reach its previous all-time high, and this is not great in terms of a long-term holding. If you were holding Litecoin throughout this whole time, you actually are missing out. You're not losing money, but you are missing out on some bigger gains. In comparison, if we look at what Bitcoin did for the same duration, let's go here on the weekly. What you're going to notice here, and this is the December high. This is actually on the 11th of December. This is exactly where Bitcoin used to be. And we're talking about $19,600. So yes, this was an all-time high for Bitcoin as well. But since then, throughout the next bull cycle, Bitcoin managed to go all the way up to 68,000. So for the same duration, pretty much at the same time, Litecoin only managed to reach its previous all-time high. So this is what I'm talking about. On the 3rd of May 21, Litecoin managed to reach its previous all-time high, or at least very close to its previous all-time high, and since then it's been on a downtrend. What Bitcoin did on the 3rd of May, let's find it. So we're taking from its previous all-time high all the way up until, let's say, 3rd of May. We're not even going to go to its new all-time high, but I'm curious to see on the 3rd of May. So 211% was up Bitcoin from its previous all-time high, from its previous bull market to the 3rd of May, which is when Litecoin managed to reach its previous all-time high. So you basically missed out on 211% gains if you were to hold your money in Bitcoin rather than in Litecoin. And if we compare to other altcoins, then it's going to be an even bigger difference, because altcoins outperformed, many of the altcoins outperformed Bitcoin during the previous bull cycle. As you know, the large caps like Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and the other large cap coins, they're a bit more conservative when we're talking about gains. So, you know, they would be adding 200, 300, 400% gains, while many of the altcoins are going to be adding, you know, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000% gains during a bull run. So Litecoin only managed to recover back to its previous all-time high during this previous bull run, while Bitcoin and Ethereum did way better. This is Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum from the high of 2017, which is again December 2017. Okay, now let me zoom in and make it a little bit more precise here. So this is where we were on the 3rd of May 2021. Again, not its all-time high, and in fact quite far from it, but nevertheless 351% was the profit you would be getting from Ethereum if you were to hold the same amount that you were holding in Litecoin versus Ethereum. So you can see Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two most conservative gainers in the market, are actually making far bigger performance than Litecoin for the same period, for the same duration. Now, another thing that I want to look at is what did Litecoin do during its previous halving? And the halving was actually during 2019, I believe it was in June or something like that. We're going to find it very easily because it peaked. And 2019, it was 17th of June 2019 that Litecoin actually peaked. The halving was a little bit later. I think the halving was a couple of weeks later. This is what I remember, because it actually started dumping around 2 weeks. I remember it clearly because I was in Bali at the time. In fact, I remember, in which hotel I was by the pool when I was trading Litecoin, and I was trying to cash out my profits from this pump. So it actually pumped 479% from the bottom of its bear market throughout this bull run that it made in the run-up to the halving. As I said, the halving was actually in sort of mid-July, probably even late July, again close to August. But we did see the big sell-off starting already 2 weeks before that halving. Nonetheless, 482%, that's a very decent performance. So, can you make money with Litecoin? The answer is yes. However, I would argue that it's much better if you're actually doing this kind of market swings, kind of short to medium term trading, and try to capitalize on these market swings rather than just be a long-term investor and holding Litecoin throughout all of these market dumps, bear cycles, because as you see, even during the last bull run, it didn't actually print a new all-time high. With that said, do I believe that it can print a new all-time high during the next bull run? Yes, I do. Can it reach $500? Yes, I think it can. But does that mean that it is still a good investment for the long term? Well, let's continue and find out what else I can tell you about it. Now, from a technical perspective, the Litecoin project closely resembles the Bitcoin system. It operates on an open source encryption protocol, ensuring decentralization without any central control. All transactions, balances, and expenses are managed through a peer-to-peer network. Charlie Lee's intention in creating Litecoin was to offer a lighter version of Bitcoin, hence the name. Developers often refer to it as the silver counterpart to Bitcoin's gold. Notably, Litecoin places greater emphasis on transaction confirmation speed, with approximately 2.5-minute average per block. However, network congestion sometimes may cause a longer processing time in transactions, up to 30 minutes, but this is nothing compared to Bitcoin or Ethereum. In fact, Litecoin was forked out of Bitcoin, so they share a lot indeed. Ethereum is a blockchain-based platform that focuses on smart contracts and building dApps, while Litecoin is primarily used as a cryptocurrency for payments. Ethereum uses a different consensus mechanism called proof of stake, which is more energy efficient than Litecoin's proof of work mechanism, compared to XRP, the other large cap coin. Both of them are decentralized, they have different value propositions. XRP has gained more notable partnerships and use cases in various industries, particularly in cross-border payments and remittances. Litecoin is recognized as one of the early altcoins and has earned trust and respect of investors, while XRP has a complex market perception due to the ongoing regulatory concerns and legal challenges with the US SEC. And the market cap of XRP and its price, in fact, has suffered a lot due to the legal challenges by the SEC and the uncertainty that they cause, something that Litecoin is not affected by, at least for now. In terms of market demand and adoption, Litecoin is widely accepted by many online merchants, including several payment processors like Coinbase and BitPay, making it easier for merchants to accept Litecoin payments. It has not really gained significant support from financial institutions, though, compared to other cryptocurrencies like XRP, and it is unclear whether more people are using Litecoin for transactions or as a store of value. But Litecoin's faster block times and lower fees make it more attractive to some users like me. According to data from CryptoWork Litecoin Adoption Analytics, there are currently over 5,000 businesses and merchants that accept Litecoin as a payment method. It has gained recognition in Venezuela's international payment system as well. Through the Remesas remittance platform, foreigners can send Litecoin to recipients in Venezuela who receive bolivars in their local bank accounts. The Litecoin Foundation holds 9.9% share in the German WAG Bank. This stake was donated by the Swiss blockchain company TokenPay. Together, the Litecoin Foundation and TokenPay have nearly 20% share in the bank, which primarily serves as real estate investors. This raises the question of whether Litecoin could be recognized as a potential cryptocurrency for real estate purchases in Germany. Cryptocurrencies like Litecoin operate in a regulatory gray area in many jurisdictions, and there is a risk that governments could impose stricter regulations or even ban cryptocurrencies altogether in terms of taxation and regulation. These are still areas that are being changed dramatically over the last few months and even over the course of last year, and in the future they will continue to change. So always keep an eye on regulations and especially tax requirements. Also, while Litecoin has gained notable acceptance from merchants and payment processors, there is a risk that this could change if there is regulatory pressure or legal challenges like with other altcoins, namely XRP, but also ADA, Solana, BNB in the case with the SEC. This kind of uncertainty could actually force many of the merchants to stop accepting it. Alright, well now it's time to outweigh the positives and the negatives. Let's start with the positives. It offers faster transaction processing compared to Bitcoin, making it a reliable and cost-effective alternative, especially for microtransactions like purchasing a cup of coffee. It was developed as a lightweight alternative to Bitcoin, addressing some of its limitations, and it's one of the first altcoins to ever be developed with a long history. It easily integrates software updates and new technologies, which makes it the perfect canary network to Bitcoin. In other words, it's perfect for a testing ground on upgrades that are considered for Bitcoin implementation, like SegWit, Lightning Network, smart contracts, the Taproot upgrade. all of which were tested on Litecoin first before being applied to the Bitcoin protocol. Similar to Bitcoin, it has built-in scarcity with a total supply capped at 84 million coins, a 4-year halving cycle just like Bitcoin, and it is a cheaper and faster alternative to Bitcoin. If crypto becomes more mainstream, I would see Litecoin as the most adequate contender to become the general crypto used for many payments. But now on to the negatives. Being a large cap, it doesn't make big moves, and during the last bull run it failed to print a new all-time high. It barely touched its previous all-time high in fact. It doesn't support smart contracts. Even with the Taproot upgrade, Litecoin is not a platform for dApps. The lack of smart contract capabilities is a significant drawback for it, as other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, polkadot, Polygon and many others already have this vital DeFi feature implemented. DeFi was one of the biggest growing sectors in crypto during the last bull cycle and will boom again once we enter the next cycle. We are at the early stages of it already actually. Also, Litecoin greatly underperformed other large cap coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB and many others. So it is kind of a bad investment for the long term in my opinion. It is good for short to medium term swing trading though. Position trading on Litecoin could be quite profitable, so it could be considered as a good investment from a trader's point of view. But from an investor's point of view, your money is probably better stored in one of the other large cap coins where you can actually gain much bigger returns in the long term rather than Litecoin, which is almost acting as a stable coin. I mean, stable when the market is up, but not that stable when the market is down. And it's still currently 72% negative from its all-time high. So is it really a good investment? Well, that's really up to you. I gave you my opinion, I gave you my reasoning for it, and now it's time for you to make up your mind whether you want to be holding Litecoin for the long term or maybe just take advantage of its market price movements and try to capitalize on every pump of Litecoin. This is really what I would suggest, but again, this is not a financial advice. I'm merely stating here my opinion. By the way, if you're holding Litecoin or planning to hold Litecoin for the longer term, I hope you're using a cold wallet. Make sure to always keep your coins safe in self-custodial wallets. I use hardware wallets, several of them, my top preference being this one here. This is the Tangem wallet. It looks just like a credit card. And it's perfect for on-the-go frequent type of use because it fits in my wallet with my other cards, and all I have to do is just tap it to my phone when I need to approve a transaction. Also, this here is the One Key Touch. This is another great wallet for on the go because it's quite compact, it's touch screen, it supports NFTs as well because it is the first true color display, so it's great for NFTs. It's really compact and light and also great for on the go. And for the long-term holdings, I use Keystone, Trezor, Ledger, the Elipo Titan Mini, which is air-gapped, so it's perfectly protected against any online risk. And I actually published this ebook that you're seeing on the screen. It is a guide where all of the crypto wallets are explained, hot and cold wallets. I break down all of the most popular wallets, so make sure that you get this. It's a free ebook. You can scan the QR code that you're seeing on the screen right now or get it from the link in the description below. Always keep your crypto safe and own your private keys. To find out more, get the guide. And also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure that you're subscribed because I'm coming to you with another coin where we're going to examine whether it is a good investment or not. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it's coming very soon. So make sure to enable notifications so you never miss an episode. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description below where I drop the links to all of the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And while you're here, just pick another one of my videos and I'm going to see you there.